Hello, everyone. My guest today is Colin Mcatee. He's building a great company called ProductiveRecruit.com. It's college athletic recruiting software. Colin, you ready to take us to the top?
Yeah, definitely. Let's get going.
So were you wanted to be a college athlete, but recruiting was a nightmare, and now you're sticking it to this building tools to make it easier?
Yeah, kind of. I have good product founder fit. So I did play college soccer. I graduated college in 2015. So I've been out of it for a little while now. And I didn't study computer science or anything in college, but I started getting that entrepreneurial itch after college. I tried a little consulting thing. Had no idea what I was doing running a business. Started listening to indie hackers and reading and all this stuff in this community. And now here I know how to code. I'm a software engineer full time, doing this on the side. And yeah, I kind of wanted to build a tool that I would have loved using during that process.
So the site looks great. It's very clean. Did you use a no-code tech stack to get this live?
I did not. It's a Tailwind. So it does use some Tailwind UI stuff, but I kind of retooled it to not look so generic like the standard Tailwind UI stuff that you see.
It looks really good.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that.
So how do you make money here?
Yeah, it's a good question. Actually, something I'm really trying to focus on this summer is marketing and figuring out that pricing model. So I'm at 904 MRR to be upfront. So and I launched almost a year ago. So June 15th last year I launched. So I started with a one-time sale model for the individual athletes and families because they're kind of customers that only need this software for maybe a year or two. So I had a price of 150 on launch, made 4 or 5 sales the first day because I had a little bit of a pre-list. But most of my revenue, so I have 17 customers, 14 of them are resellers. So I've kind of found myself in this space where I can actually more be a distribution company. And some of my partners have told me this, and I realize now that I really need to latch onto this and make that the focal point of my business because I built this great thing. No competitor really offers this white labeling on top of a platform like this. All these resellers of mine, they're recruiting experts, ex-college pro athletes, right? But they have no technical know-how. They don't have the budget to hire a developer. They're more of a service business, maybe a consultant, families hire them, pay them a few thousand a year, that kind of thing. So I'm a great addition to their service offering. So that's been going great.
Can you name one of these resellers? I don't understand.
They're just individual people. Let's say it's just some ex-football player who played in college and pro, and now they have a recruiting business. So to explain it, maybe they have a package that's $1,000 a year. They have, the family or recruit can call them a few times a month. They give them guidance on here's exactly what you need to do. They might have connections with college coaches that are that coach really trusts them and trusts their testimonial. So they kind of run a true services business where I'm in the business of software and giving them that software they can use to add on to their offering.
I see. Okay, got it. So
if that makes sense, I'm not sure if I'm doing a great job.
They were an athlete. They now run their own recruiting business. They use your software so that when they're working with high school graduates and helping them get recruited to college, your software helps them do that more effectively. Colin, is that about that about right?
Oh, I'm sorry. You cut out for a little bit. I can hear you now, though.
No, I was just saying, so basically, again, that ex-NFL person that's now helping high school graduates get into college, they're buying your software to help their recruiting business scale faster.
Correct. Exactly. So they kind of need a tool to manage all their athletes and give them some tooling that they can use themselves. So my software gives them the ability I have a college database with all the academic stats in there. I have a database of over 50,000 college coaches and their emails and stuff like that I get from a vendor, one of my other partners that gives me that data, and I keep that up to date. So it gives the athletes ability to save time and money that they could spend on a big incumbent in the industry, these recruiting services, which I could get into where I'm just kind of a SaaS provider.
How much of your capital did you spend to build the MVP?
None really. So it's just a Laravel app. I had to spend a little bit on the biggest expense I'll just get into is that data. So that's about $3,000 a year. So that was a pretty big expense to have, but it's kind of necessary because they give me an API and I can kind of keep that data.
So who are you paying $3,000 to, and what data are you specifically getting from the database?
Yeah, it's called collegiate directories. They just kind of have sourced, so college coaches or athletic directors, et cetera, will give them their information. It's like a big just database of contact info, basically. And I subscribe to their API because I don't want to have that be a manual process.
Yep. Now, have you bootstrapped to date or have you raised?
Bootstrap completely.
We love that. Any plans to raise or you want to stay bootstrapped?
No plans right now. I'd be open to it in the future, possibly, but every time I think about it, I don't really know if it's for me, at least as of right now. But if I was open to it, going off what Noah Bragg said in his interview with you, I'd be more open to a kind of tiny seed or earnest capital type of raise rather than a traditional VC.
Yeah. How many folks are on your team today?
It is just myself.
Perfect. We love that. So one man show, you're cranking, you're going quick. Would you, I mean, are you full-time yet on this or is it still a side project?
It's still a side project. So I'm a morning person. I'm usually working on it, grinding on in the mornings, a little bit in the evenings. Hopefully, someday it would be great for it to be full-time, but it would need to grow quite a bit. Something like 10K MR or more would be a great spot to get to.
What is your full-time job?
I'm a software engineer. Been doing that I did a boot camp about 4 years ago and haven't looked back since.
So you're working for another company as a software engineer?
Yes.
I see. Okay, interesting. So, okay, you need about 10 grand in MRR to do this full time. How much MRR are you adding per month right now?
The last few months have only been about 10% increase. I don't have the exact graph in front of me right now. I was just looking at my chart mogul earlier, but it's not really growing a ton. I kind of had a good start last year when I launched where I got to like 600 MR pretty quickly. Had a little bit of churn, which was kind of expected because I was kind of still pre-product market fit. And now I'm kind of finding my way in the fact that I'm not seeing hardly any churn. I'm actually seeing negative churn the last few months due to expansion. And obviously 17 customers, it's not really great data, but I do think I've kind of found the type of customer I need to go after, which is great.
It makes good sense. Do you have a database of those folks or is it manual LinkedIn searching to find the ex-NFL player now running his own recruiting firm?
That's a great question. It's really hard to find them with just a straight like LinkedIn type of thing. I've done a decent job finding them on Instagram at times. It seems like a lot of them like to post on Instagram. So I'll go to certain hashtags like college recruiting, kind of scroll through there and there'll just be a ton of like little agencies posting, recruiting tips and stuff. And I kind of try to DM them. Kind of not in a sleazy way, just kind of saying, hey, I like what you're doing. Let me know if you'd want to talk. I think we could be partners someday, that kind of thing.
Yeah. What about, are you the kind of guy that likes a bunch of side projects? So if someone listening right now offered to buy this for $40,000 all upfront cash today, would you sell it and then move on to the next thing?
That's actually fun you brought this up because this has been a topic conversation recently. I have been approached by a company, I'm not going to name them, but I'm not sure. Like, I think I wouldn't be ready to sell for a number that low. I've put a lot into this. And even though I am the kind of guy who maybe would like a lot of side projects, I do just love building things. I think I want to see this one grow more because I think I could see a bigger exit. I think there's way more potential here.
What's your risk profile like? Are you a guy that's good under pressure?
I'd like to say so. I would say that what's the best way to put this? I'm very good at just making decisions quickly, whether they're always good or bad. I'm very good at pulling the trigger. I think a lot of times as an entrepreneur, I found that to be really helpful, not to overthink things. But obviously, there's times where it's really helpful to sit down and put the quality time in thinking through. So that's where my wife comes in and she puts me straight. She's way more logical and practical at times where I'm just trying to get stuff done.
It's the college soccer national championship. There's 2 minutes left. You're down 2-1. You need the tie to go to overtime. Do you live for situations like that? Or are you more prefer sort of a comfortable lead or something more comfortable? The reason I'm asking is right now it feels like it's like a comfortable side project where if you think you can really scale and you're good under pressure, the right thing to do would be to give up your safety net, which is the full-time gig, and go full-time on this so it has to be successful. Otherwise your wife will be pissed.
That's a good point. Yeah, I think I'm definitely in this current, if I were taking the sports analogy and putting it in this business, definitely more of the safe, comfortable route right now. I think that's really important. And honestly, I like my day job. So it's like, I like building stuff. I have a good situation at work. So I think just building it slowly. I do though, I'm doing the classic thing where I'm focusing too much on product and not enough on marketing. So I'm trying to split up my time and actually focus more on that. Because obviously, as you know, the business isn't going to grow if I just code. So yeah, I do need to focus on that more.
Well, what a great story. I mean, this is like what we live for. I love celebrating founders like you. So we'll see what happens. In the meantime, then let's wrap up here with the famous five. Number one, what's your favorite business book?
Built to Sell.
Build to Sell. Number two, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
Not right now, but I do love everything Steli FD puts out. So I love following him to learn more about sales.
Number three, what's your favorite online tool for building a college recruiting? Colin, what's your favorite online tool for building Productive Recruit?
Aside from Stripe, I really love Laravel Forge for server management.
Number four, how many hours of sleep are you getting every night?
About 6 to 8.
Okay. And situation, it sounds like married. Any kids?
No kids, just wife and a dog.
And how old are you?
28.
28. Last question. What's something you wish you knew when you were 20?
I wish I had realized how much I love building things and creating. I don't know. I was hearing the questions kind of late at the end there. I don't know if I was lagging out.
No problem. But you said build earlier, build faster, right?
Yeah, I was a college athlete. Sports is all I had known up to that point, and I didn't even know I had this kind of entrepreneurial drive in me until right after college.
Guys, ProductiveRecruit.com, helping folks that run their own recruiting business recruit high school athletes and help them get recruited into college faster. He's got 17 customers, $904 in MRR, so $10,000 in ARR. It still is a side project. We'll see what happens next. In the meantime, though, Colin, thanks for taking us to the top.
One more thing before you go. We have a brand new show every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central. It's called Shark Tank for SaaS. We call it Deal or Bust. One founder comes on, 3 hungry buyers, they try and do a deal live, and the founder shares back-end dashboards, their expenses, their revenue, ARPU, CAC, LTV, you name it, they share it. And the buyers try and make a deal live. It is fun to watch every Thursday, 1 p.m. Central. Additionally, remember, these recorded founder interviews go live. We release them here on YouTube every day at 2 p.m. Central. To make sure you don't miss any of that, make sure you click the subscribe button below here on YouTube, the big red button, and then click the little bell notification to make sure you get notifications when we do go live. I wouldn't want you to miss breaking news in the SaaS world, whether it's an acquisition, a big fundraise, a big sale, a big profitability statement, or something else. I don't want you to miss it. Additionally, if you want to take this conversation deeper and further, we have by far the largest private Slack community for B2B SaaS founders. You want to get in there. We've probably talked about your tool if you're running a company or your firm if you're investing. You can go in there and quickly search and see what people are saying. Sign up for that at nathanlatka.com/Slack. In the meantime, I'm hanging out with you here on YouTube. I'll be in the comments for the next 30 minutes. Feel free to let me know what you thought about this episode. And if you enjoyed it, click the thumbs up. We get a lot of haters that are mad at how aggressive I am on these shows, but I do it so that we can all learn. We have to counter those people. We got to push them away. Click the thumbs up below to counter them and know that I appreciate your guys' support. All right, I'll be in the comments. See ya.